Okay, so nearly 2,500 years ago, Hippocrates, who is like the father of modern medicine, said that all disease begins in the gut. I think that with the research that is being done currently, that a lot of that is coming to light. 60 to 70% of your immune system is in the gut. And we can harbor a lot of different bacterial strains in the gut that can then crosstalk to the immune system and cause inflammation. Inflammation is the root of all evil. So one of the things that I do in my practice is look at the way in which the gastrointestinal system is engaging. One way in which we stimulate the digestive system to engage is by being calm. So being calm when you eat, sitting down, chilling out, and chewing your food actually enables the brain to signal to your stomach to engage and to secrete what's called hydrochloric acid. So your stomach is one of the prime organs to enable your body to break down food and absorb a lot of your main nutrients, including a lot of metals, so like zinc and iron. It's an absorption site as well. Important to have strong hydrochloric acid secretions even for B12 absorption. If you are chronically stressed, then what happens is that your hydrochloric acid secretions go down. You need a certain amount of nutrients to be able to produce hydrochloric acid. So, if you are nutrient deficient, you might be also low in what I call HCL, hydrochloric acid. And if you don't break down your food competently, then what happens is that your food will end up unbroken down by the time that it gets to the small bowel. And that your small bowel will try and break down that food so it can now absorb it. It needs really small particles to enable your small bowel to absorb, proteins, carbohydrates, sugars, which enables the brain to work and us to build muscles and to repair DNA in every single cell in the body. So we need to break food down to survive. We need to have a good diet. But if you're not breaking down your food, then your small bowel will generate a type of bacteria that will break the food down instead of your stomach doing it. And your stomach also sends a message to your pancreas and your gallbladder to aid in digestion. So if you're low in stomach acid, it's like the whole digestive system is shot. So if you're breaking down your food in your small bowel, then that will be done through putrefaction or fermentation. And that is going to generate most likely a lot of gas. It can generate a range of different strains of bacteria to build in your body, which can then act as infectious or pathogenic. And if that bacteria is there, it can knock out beneficial flora, and beneficial flora is what feeds the small bowel to enable us to absorb and protect the immune system. If I do a stool test on you and we investigate that you've got putrefactive or fermentable bacteria or any sort of infection, I need to then make sure not only that we clear that infection, but we prevent it from coming back, which is why I do this test. So what you'll be given is this little baggie with HCL written on it, and these contain hydrochloric acid, some pepsin, and this really bitter herb called gentian root. So you're going to do this test, you need to do this test. If you're doing a stool test, you need to do it after the stool test. And then you will just take one tablet right before eating your lunch. It needs to be a substantial size meal. So a chicken curry and rice, or some fish and vegetables, or some lamb chops and whatever. It needs to be more than just avocado and crackers. So you're going to take one of these capsules right before lunch, which contains acid. And if you don't get signs of excess acid secretions from taking more of it, this means that you're low in stomach acid. If we give you more and you don't have excess, then you're low. If you get heartburn or reflux at any stage after taking any of these tablets, that's when you stop the trial and you report back to base. Let me know what happens. If you take one tablet before your lunch and you don't feel anything, then the next day that you remember, it doesn't have to be consecutive if you forget the next day, but the next time that you have a substantial size meal, try 2. And if you don't get heartburn on 2, then the next day you take 3 before your lunch. So this is then determining how low is your stomach acid. and then I will treat your acid issue. We will then enable your body to be able to break down foods so you no longer ferment and putrefy. And then we're going to also enable your body to now absorb nutrients, which is really important if you're doing any form of nutritional supplementation. So that's it, stomach acid, and that's the how-to. I'll send you information online. Thanks.